This is a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate here with the Duramax Diesel. We're going to do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. So we've got the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate here in Onyx Black. Now for starters here, I got to say the black I think looks probably the best, or maybe a white. I feel like the black with all of the brushed aluminum accents kind of all around the truck make the truck stand out a little bit more. And then the Denali Ultimate on the exterior part gives you that slate gray grille. But let's start here at the front. We've got LED C-shaped daytime running lights with LED lights. And as we carry over to the center here, we've got that slate gray grille with that slate gray GMC logo there. So no red GMC logo on the Ultimate. Down below here on the bumper, we can see we've got some more brushed aluminum or chrome pieces there. We got two recovery hooks, fog lights as well, parking sensors. And then we don't really have a big kind of plastic air dam below here. So I like the fact that obviously you're not going to really hit much if you tend to take this more off-road. But I got to say the GMC, on the exterior part of things, the design elements I think look really, really good. It's got a really nice bold front end here, especially like the hood. I think the hood looks pretty good as well. But this is at the front here of the GMC. You can also see on the sides here of the bumper, you've got kind of some venting there as well on both sides. Now that is it here at the front. Let's take a look underneath the hood and go over the Duramax Diesel option. So underneath the hood here of the GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate, we got the 3-liter Duramax Diesel. We got 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now I gotta say, I like the fact that in the 1500 segment, when it comes to GM trucks, you still can get a Duramax, or a diesel rather. They did have some issues with their 6.2s for sure. I believe we're past that, but I like the fact that, let's just say you wanted this truck but didn't want maybe any issues, or you wanted even better fuel economy, you have the option to get this diesel. Whereas, if you only have one engine option and maybe that engine's not the best, you're kind of screwed. So I'm happy that GM still gives people an option with a Duramax diesel, or obviously you can still go with the 6.2. So that's underneath the hood here. Let's take a look around the GMC and go over the options. So taking a look around the GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate, we'll start with the tire and wheel setup. So we are sitting on a 22-inch wheel, and they are Bridgestone tires. 275/50 R22 is the tire size. We can see we've got that carpeted liner inside, and then we've got this kind of plastic liner around the wheel well to help with like stone chips and rusting. Now on the side here, we've got the Ultimate badge with Duramax and GMC. And it is kind of encased in this like slate gray that goes around the truck. We've got a chromed mirror cap here with a camera underneath and then a light here. We have Denali there on the bottom of the passenger door. And then this is a side profile view of the Denali Ultimate. We are sitting with a 5.5-foot bed. Now, as you can see around the Denali Ultimate, you have a lot more chrome. So you got chrome here, chrome door handles, keyless entry only on the front two doors. And we do have a automatic running board. From a side profile view, I gotta say the truck does look good. Let's take a look inside here on the passenger side. Now, as we open up the door, you're greeted with a brown interior with the Denali Ultimate. And I gotta say, I like the combination they did here with the black and some of the white stitching. So you got some wood trim here, lock and unlock. No memory seating here, unfortunately, but you've got the Ultimate badge there. That brown, I gotta say, it's really nice soft touch. I think the quality is really nice. You've got, terrain here, the white stitching and piping, the Bose speaker. I gotta say the door panel looks good. On the door sill, we've got the Ultimate badge there with Denali's longitude and latitude. And then over here on the seat, we've got that same badge there with the terrain kind of design there with some white stitching and piping. But it is kind of two-tone on the side here. As we can see, it's black and then brown. Then you get some black stitching with some white piping and stitching on the side. They are heated and ventilated with massage, as you can control the seat controls down here. And then as you push this button, you can actually put the massage on the screen. Now over here, you've got wood trim here with that same terrain. And it does come with an upper glove box area. But you get some more leather here with some white stitching and piping, even at the top here. So I got to say it looks good. You do get a leather wrapped handle here to help you get in, which I have to say helps a lot. Down below here, we've got some more storage, so if you want to put your phone or whatnot, and then we could see we've got that kind of white stitching with some kind of soft touch here on the side. Now let's go take a look at the back here. And as we look at the back here, we've got that same type of design and material. I got to say the door panels on the front and back look good. Handle here, some wood trim, some soft touch, Bose speaker there and here. and then you've got some storage down below. So nothing here on the door sill as we can see, but as we carry over to the seat, same type of design and material. You do get a pocket here to store things if need be. I gotta say, the seat quality looks good. Now the seats can go up, and then you can also get this as an option to store things, underneath the seats if need be. Now you don't get a moonroof here in the GM trucks yet. I presume that they'll probably put a full moonroof, in their next design trucks, but you do get an indent here for taller passengers, so they get a little bit more headroom. And then I gotta say that Alcantara on the ceiling looks good. Over here in the center, we've got cup holders here with 2 vents. We've got 2 heated seats, USB, USB-C, and then nothing down here. But, it's a nice, comfortable place to kind of sit down. You've got a handle here. But I'm about 5'10", 5'11", and I'll show you guys how I fit inside. So I'm going to hop in here, and I got to say the running board helps a lot, I do have to say. And then getting inside here, I've got, honestly, a crap ton of room. I've got the handle here to help me get in. You can even see some of the terrain they put here on the back of the seat. And then it's got some leather here on the top. So honestly, even looking at the seat, I think the quality's there. It looks good. But overall, ton of room. I can't adjust my seat by any means, but it's not really common in trucks. I mean, it'd be nice to kind of pull it forward, but I can't do that because I know the Rams do that. But overall, I think the brown is definitely maybe an acquired color for some people, but I gotta say, I think it looks really, really good here, especially with a lot of the chrome accents they put around the truck. But honestly, for me being about 5'10", 5'11", I fit in here nicely. And then you've got the running board here to help you get out. So I think it's really, really cool. Now, a really cool thing you can do with the running board is you can kick this little button there, and the running board will actually make its way to the back tire. So you do have easier access getting into the bed. So that's nice to know, especially if you don't want to step on the tire or even the side of the bumper. You have that activation there. And then when you want to put it back in, you can just kick it and it will just go right underneath the truck. So really, really cool. And then here's a look at that back tire and wheel. Same wheel design and dimension. And then we've got that carpeted liner inside. We also still do sit on leaf springs on GM trucks. And then, like I said, this is also a 5.5-foot bed. But that's it for a side profile view, guys. Let's take a look at the back. So this is the back here of the GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate. So we can see we've got the GMC logo there in that slate gray color, Denali below that, Sierra on the right. On the bottom there, we can see we've got dual exhaust with parking sensors on that bumper. Then you've got your bumper steps as well. You do have your trailering connections here and your pin connections. Now, also on the side, we've got LED taillights. And I believe, someone could correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that all GMC trucks do come with the LED taillights. So I think that's also a nice thing to note. Now, a couple things, I'm going to zoom out here. You've got 2 buttons here. One is to open your full tailgate, and one is to open the top part of the tailgate. So you can use this also, if you got stuff or plywood or, wood or whatever, you can actually use this to stop it. And you can push this back up. And then if you want to activate the whole tailgate, you just push that second button below it and the whole tailgate will come down. You can still also use this to help stop things. Now, if you want to use this as your multi-pro tailgate, so the whole tailgate, you're able to do that. And then you're able to use this as a step. So really, really cool. This one does have the optional kicker audio speaker system back here. So a really cool party trick to have. Now we can see we've got a spray and bed liner, and it is from GM because we can see the GMC logo there. You do have a 120 here on this side. Lights here, so one there, and then tie downs in each corner. Now, one thing that I did notice in this truck is it doesn't have the handle. So as you can see here, you got the little stick figure guy, and then there's the handle there. But I don't see a handle. Maybe I'm blind, but I cannot see one unless they tucked it somewhere else. So maybe that might be new for 2026. Maybe they don't give you a handle to help you get in. But to close this, all you do is grab the step. Then you got to kind of bend down a little bit and grab the whole thing, and it will come up just like that. So I got to say it is very useful. Now, a couple other things to note back here. You have 2 cameras right on that third brake light. One is for your bed camera, and one is for your rear mirror camera, which we'll go over once we get inside. But that's it for the back here. Let's take a look at those seats behind the driver. I just want to thank Applewood GM here in Mississauga, Ontario. Go see my boy Zach. He'll hook you up with a great deal. So taking a look inside the GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate here behind the driver. Same type of design and material. We can see we've got that wood trim, some nice white stitching and piping. We've got the terrain there. We've got the wood trim, speaker here and a speaker there. Nothing here on the door sill. Now as we carry up here on the seat, we can see we've got a nice headrest here with some white stitching and piping and that brown mahogany color carried throughout. We do get some more storage back here as well. And then you can lift these up so you get more storage here if you open them up. And then inside here, you've got heated seats. So you got USB, USB-C, 2 vents, and then cup holder there at the top. And then there is a look again at that ceiling. And then here's that indent on that roof. So one other cool thing is on both sides, you get handles. So that's it for the back here. Let's take a look at the front. So taking a look inside the GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate here. We'll start with the door panel. All soft touch here. We can see we got a two-tone of black and brown, some white stitching and piping there. And here as well, wood trim. We've got that brushed aluminum look here. Memory seating with lock and unlock. We got the Ultimate badge there. Window and mirror controls here. The mirrors are power folding. We've got your Bose speaker there. Now on the door sill, we can see we got the Ultimate name with Denali's longitude and latitude. Now, as we carry over to the seat, we got that same type of design over here, really nice and plush. We can see we got your seat adjustments here with massaging seats, and then we've got the Denali badge on both seats. Now over here on the left side of the steering wheel, we've got your 4x4 settings with your different drive modes, and then here are your light controls with your tailgate lights if needed be. And this is a telescopic steering wheel with this button here. This also does come with a heads-up display, which we'll get into once we go inside. Now, one other thing that they did here is they put a handle here also on the driver's side, and it is a leather-wrapped material they put on there, so another nice touch. That's it before we hop in, guys. Let's take a look inside. So we are inside the GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate here. We'll start with the steering wheel, leather-wrapped steering wheel here. We've got some kind of brushed aluminum design here on the bottom of it. We've got your cruise control with Super Cruise control here on the left side. And then we've got your menu settings over here on the right side. We see we got Super Cruise because we got this indication up here. And then this will monitor your eyes when the Super Cruise technology is on. You can only use it on highways. One thing to note, you've got your paddle shifters behind here too, which is nice. And then you also have volume and tuning knobs just below that. So right here, if you guys can see, we've got those there. Now, a couple things to note here. This is your front infotainment display screen for your speedometer. Now, you can control it via these buttons here. So you can also change the display lookout. I personally like the progressive look a little bit more, but it just depends on the person. So you can control it via this over here. And then when you want to go through your different settings, you can go through music, info, change your speed to miles per hour, or, you can use the metric system. So the controls for that are just over here. You've got your voice command, call, hang up, call, pickup, forward collision alert. So now they have put the heated steering wheel button over here, which we'll get into. Typically they've put it on the steering wheel. Now we can see we also got the Denali name there. Now behind the steering wheel on the left side, we got your toggle for your wipers. And then we could see we've got your heads up display there controlled via these buttons over here on the left side. Now you can move it up or down, and then you can change the info on it. So you can do, whatever makes you happy. Now at the front here, we've got a kind of hard touch, I would say, with some white stitching and piping at the top. We've got a speaker there, and then we've got a speaker over on that side and over on the passenger side. But I think the layout, of the GMC trucks looks good. Over here, like I mentioned, we have your upper glove box area, which we can lift up, and it is a nice wood trim that they've done here. Now, as we can see, the design of that brushed aluminum look that is on the steering wheel is also carried across the truck, which I think is a nice touch to add. Now, here is your front infotainment screen. Now, you can have two screens going at once, so obviously your maps and then your audio here. Now, you can actually have your maps on a bigger setting here, so you can click your maps and it will go to more of a full screen. Now, you do have hotkeys here on this side, so if you want to just click and go to audio, you can do that. You can scroll through here as well. So personally, I actually like the clock. I think it's a really nice kind of classic, kind of reminds me of like a Porsche or Mercedes look. So you can have that there if you wish, or you can go back to your maps. So it's just going to depend on the user, but there's your home button. You got a home button here and here. Now, one other thing, maybe this is like something that you won't notice until you're in the truck, is this here. So this is nice to just lay your finger on and click things. I like the fact that you can just kind of lay your fingers here or your hand and then just click, or just go to any setting you want to go to. Instead of having something here, sometimes you're always floating your hand. I like the fact that there's something here you can lay your fingers on and click what you need to click. Now, as we can see, we've got some brushed aluminum carried over here in the center console, which we'll get into this in a moment. Overall, the screen here is very intuitive. You can control your climate here or here, so I like the fact that they've given you buttons. You've got your settings button here. This does have 5G Wi-Fi available, So, it's just going to depend honestly on the user of what they want and where they want it. You've got your Google Assistant here. You've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now you've got your camera settings here. You click cameras, and I got to say the quality is always top notch with the GM vehicles. They've done a good job. And then the camera angles are fantastic. So like I mentioned to you guys, you have your bed camera there. You can zoom in and out of that too. So really cool to note. And then you also have a bird's eye view when you're backing up to more of a hitch or something like that. So down below here, we've got your climate control buttons here. And like I said, I like the fact that they've given you buttons. You've got heated and ventilated seats on both sides, dual zone climate. It's in this kind of like piano black material, which, kind of ties the whole truck together. We can see we've got your engine start stop button there, your heated steering wheel button here, as opposed to it being on the steering wheel. And then here we've got other buttons here, lane keeping assist, parking sensors, auto stop start, which is very annoying. You can actually release your tailgate here, hazards, traction control, and hill descent control. And then obviously you got nothing there. Now over here we've got some more storage, and then we have a USB-C plug there. We've got your cup holders here, and like I said, there's some more kind of brushed aluminum or chrome look around. Center console shifter here, trailer brake controller, and then here's a little bit more storage. Now as we come over to the center console, we've got a leather wrapped console area here, which is nice to lay your arm on with some white stitching and some perforation. We've got some more storage here. We can actually take this out, and we've got a deep pocket. We've got more USB-C plugs, and then a 120. And then here's your wireless charging pad. So ton of areas to store things. And like I mentioned to you guys before, it does come with a sunroof, but no moonroof on these options as of yet. We've got your rear vision camera here that you can turn on or off. And then up here, we've got your rear sliding window. We've got your moonroof controls, and then your garage openers. And then here are your sun visors. And the sun visors are, I gotta say, cool because they've got that Alcantara as well. So that is it for the inside of the GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate. I've got the window sticker right behind me. Let's go talk about price. Let's talk price. 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate here with the Duramax, $112,552 Canadian. Let me know what you guys think about the truck in the comments. Do you like the Ultimates, or would you prefer something maybe just more of the Denali instead of the Ultimate? Curious to know what your guys' thoughts are. So that concludes this review, guys, and we will see you in the next one. Cheers.